I'm really glad that you're here. I have a messy background today, so I'm just going to start by calling that out. I'm not even bothered to clean any of this. I saw it and I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that today. You might call that not taking pride in this video. But the reason why I'm not doing it is because I'm treating this page, my YouTube, as a space where I cultivate and practice absolute authenticity. And there's a perfectionist in me that wants to curate everything that I do, curate my content and curate the perfect expression. And that runs in opposition to everything that I actually am here to speak to and that I'm here to invite you into, the person watching and the people that I serve in my work as a guide and as an initiator, because so much of that is about bringing out the authentic you, baby, the true you, the real you, the blueprint, the essence, the unique soul that you are, that exists within you. And sometimes part of that means tidying the bed, and it does mean curating your image, and it does mean putting effort and intention into how you present yourself and what you put out. I'm not against that. But in this space, I'm not doing that. And I realized that I've just spent the first minute and a half making this video about me, when it's not, because this is about you. But I wanted to use my example to bring you into this space. So welcome to this week's transmission. We're going to be talking today about the most common loop and pattern that I'm seeing with the people that I work with that are showing up in my life. And let's be honest, if you clicked on this video, you're not new to the world of personal growth, spirituality, healing, self-help, entrepreneurship. You are a leader, and you might know and own that word and that identity, or part of you may still kind of cringe and resist that and be like, are you sure? And actually often it's the people that resist that title that actually are the leaders in the context that I'm here to speak about, because this isn't a leader in the old world way of being things, right? Where you're to stand up and boss people around and tell people what to do. Of course, sometimes we need that, and that might be you. But I'm talking about the leader in that you are one of the people who are going first. You're one of the people who are going first, because right now we're in the midst of a mass awakening on this planet, and more of us all the time are awakening to the truth of what we are, to the truth of the reality that we live in, to the responsibility that comes with knowing that you are a interconnected fractal of a greater whole, that you are a child of God, if you want to use that terminology, because that's a terminology that actually I really resonate with these days, even though I used to hate it, anything to do with religion. But anyway, you are one minute expression of the infinite essence of all that is. You're not a small separate self who's here to struggle and survive. You are the divine expressing itself in the unique form that is you. And that's why you are unique. That's why you have a role to play. And the core essence of my message is that your role in this lifetime is not to be someone. It's not to be someone, it's to be you. And that sounds so simple, and it sounds almost cringe-worthily cliche, which is why it's so fucking true and why it's so important. And actually why, when you really devote yourself to that recognition and that truth, it's a warrior's path. It's a warrior's path. And that's why you're a leader. Because you have to go first, because there is no one else that has lived your life before. Now, of course, we can look at other people and we can learn, and we're not all that different, right? But there's a unique essence. I call it the song of your soul that you are here to sing. And I believe our greatest work in this lifetime is to not only understand that conceptually, but to embody it in this world. And that is not actually that easy. It is quite simple. And part of my intention with these videos and with the work that I do is to simplify this for you. To recognize that actually you don't need endless healing and therapy and working on yourself and more strategies and to heal more subconscious blocks and to dig deeper into blah, 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 blah. It's actually often far simpler and actually kind of more boring than that. Because there's a part of you that loves that loves the drama, that loves to work on yourself, that loves this mythical idea of an identity that is on this holy quest that you need to constantly overcome some struggles, and that you're this uniquely defected being that has unique struggles that you need to overcome. Part of you loves that story. Part of you loves it. Because we do. We came here to play this Leela, this play of life. We came here to put on the mask of a wounded small separate self with pains and struggles and egos, and to play that game. And it's a great game. It's a beautiful game. I'm not here to shame the game. I still get caught in the game all the time. But you're here watching this video because you are waking up to the truth that it is a game that you're playing. And there is a unique way that you're here to play that game. And as I say, that's about singing the song of your soul. That's about recognizing that inside your heart, inside your soul is a blueprint for what you're here to do, for who you're here to be. That is the great work that the alchemists talk about. It's extracting the truth, your truth, from all the other shit that gets in the way of it. And the reason why I'm so excited, and I start this video by saying I'm so glad you're here, because if you are here, then you're on a certain wavelength in transmission where you're resonating with what I'm putting out. You're resonating with this field. And this field is saying, it's time to be who you are. It's time to stop working on yourself and to stop fixing yourself and to stop healing and to stop hustling and to stop grinding. Or to keep doing those things, but to recognize that you're doing them and that you don't actually need to be doing them. To take away the idea that this is some glorified struggle that you're supposed to step through, and to recognize that it's a game you're playing, that you're choosing to play. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? To borrow Michael Beckwith's phrase. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments if you do, and if you don't, let me know anyway. Deep down, you already know what to do. And we often think that we don't. We complicate it. We make this life seem more difficult and confusing than it is, because we're addicted to the story of the struggle. We're addicted to the story of our own suffering. And we think that we need to do something to fix it, to heal it, to overcome it. But the deepest truth, as I said in my video, a few videos back, that I wouldn't say it went viral, but for where I'm at currently on this YouTube channel, it went pretty viral. I had 700, 800 views, whatever. And the core message of that was that you've already arrived. You've already arrived. You're here on earth in this body right now. That is the destination. Where people then confuse that is that you feel that transmission. And there's a reason why that video, amongst all my other videos, hit so hard. It's because there's a part of you that recognizes the truth of it. There's a part of you that is so tired of performing and of trying and of healing and of all these things that I keep talking about. And so when I speak from that place of recognizing you're already it, you've already arrived, there's nowhere to get to. There's a part of your soul that hears the truth of that and celebrates and rejoices, because it's like, yes, yes. But you'll also notice, and if you were one of the people that watched that video, I would love for you to comment and let me know below, like, has your life shifted since that video? Or did you find yourself watching it, feeling good about yourself for a little while, and then you're back into the same old spiral and cycle and pattern and loop before you find the next piece of content or spiritual truth or teacher or video or whatever that kind of brings you out of it again? Please let me know if you resonate with that, because I think that's most people in this space. Because we become addicted to the feeling of resonance or insight, as if that is the same thing as transformation. Because here's the grounding truth, is that yes, you've arrived. Yes, you're here to be who you are, and that is light and joyful and liberating. But there's a reason that I say it's a warrior's path. Because to actually embody that in this reality is not easy. It requires devotion, it requires commitment, it requires choosing every single day to show up as that version of you, to take the actions that feel uncomfortable to the old identity that you thought that you were. And there's a bit of a process sometimes that we need to go through in order to step into that. You know, there's a reason why, if you look at all the old traditions of alchemy and yoga and qigong, you know, and these spiritual pathways of initiation and embodiment, it's like a warrior training in a dojo. You know, it's repetition. It's getting up every day and doing the same thing, doing the same asana and deepening into it. Because this world is full of distractions now more than ever. Your attention is your greatest currency. It's your greatest commodity. And this is why we need to train it. This is why when the people that work with me, when we come in to do one-to-one work, there's kind of this path that they go through. Is like I'm going to use marketing terms here, but the top of funnel, the top of my world, you might watch that video and you might watch this one and you hear you've arrived and it's great and it's beautiful and you feel good. But as they go deeper into this work, you start to realize, oh, okay, the way that this actually then translates into how I show up every day is a little bit boring. It's a little bit simple. It's a little bit repetitive. It's not that glamorous, you know. It's not like the modern new age spiritual scene, which is all kind of like love, light and ayahuasca and these big, beautiful realizations and breakthroughs. Because if you're only chasing that, you're just going to decorate your cage, the bars of your cage, with shiny glitter and with chakra symbols and nice affirmations, but you're still going to be in a cage. There are many people out there who have a sudden moment of realization and achieve enlightenment. Eckhart Tolle is a great example. He's probably one of the most influential spiritual teachers of our time. It was his book, The Power of Now, that I wouldn't say was the trigger, but was certainly the catalyst for me between my moment where something opened in me and where the truth dropped in. I'll tell this story because I don't think I've told it before. My spiritual journey, my path to being here now began about 5 years ago. During COVID, I had spent 3 months living by myself in a small city centre flat in Leeds in the UK. I was working in a corporate sales job at the time, quite high pressure. And I spent 3 months not seeing another human being. And I was being pushed at work, and I was drinking, and I was smoking cannabis to avoid facing my anxieties and my problems, and things just got deeper and deeper and deeper. And I was not a well kid. I was not well. It's not good. It's not good to be isolated for 3 months, okay? And especially if you're not doing anything to actually actively take care of yourself and your mind and your body. Fast forward 3 months. I won't go into huge details, but I had a psychedelic-induced breakdown. Some people don't like that term. I like it because it was the breakdown of the old psyche and the old self that I was performing, that I thought that I was. That broke, and I hysterically released and cried, and all this stuff came out for hours and hours and hours. And the next day I woke up and something felt different. I was, it took probably a few days to kind of come back to myself a little bit, but I was like, okay, something's not quite right here. I need to take care of myself a bit better. So I looked up self-help and I came across The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and something just said to me. I didn't even realize at that point what intuition was. I had no idea of spiritual truth, really. I'd done a little bit of mindfulness meditation, but really nothing. And I listened to The Power of Now, and it literally just, boom. Oh, yes. I remember this truth in some kind of way. This is what I'm here to do with my life. I'm here to speak about this and to teach consciousness to people and to help raise the vibration of the planet and to help us ascend, like all of this stuff that some of you watching will probably resonate with, because a lot of us have felt this calling in some kind of way over the last 5 years, and more if you've been on this path for longer. Eckhart Tolle, to go back to my point, had a moment of realization where he just became enlightened. And then when you read that book and you read other spiritual texts, it's very easy to start to think that that's how it should be for you. You know, that it's supposed to be this moment of sudden realization where you achieve enlightenment and all your problems go away, and then you just do this thing. And it's just not the truth. It's not the truth for most people. And when you go deeper into spiritual traditions, you understand that, you know, I thought, oh, Eckhart Tolle is just this special person. He's like the Messiah come again, and, you know, whatever, we all need to aspire to be like that. But actually, you know, there's a ancient traditions of yoga where people have devoted themselves and shown up and done the work every single day for years in order to create not even necessarily enlightenment, but the most enlightened state that they're able to create in this lifetime. The point that I'm getting at with all of this is that we need to have both our head in the clouds in some kind of way, which means connecting to this deeper truth, this higher awareness that, yeah, you've already arrived. There's nowhere to get to. You're here to be you. That's light, that's joyful, that's love, that's peace, that's beauty. And also, you are here on earth right now at one of the most chaotic, crazy, transformational times, probably the most, although who knows, maybe Atlantis and the ancient civilizations that I think definitely existed, or probably more so. But as far as we know, this is the most crazy time that it's ever been to be alive on this planet. And there's some very dark stuff happening. And there's a lot of forces and energies out there that want to disconnect you from that power and from that truth. Or that are doing that, even if we take away the kind of conspiracy side to it. And we need to honor that. And we need to honor that, yeah, it takes work and devotion to be who you are. It's not just a moment of love and light and peace and joy. It is a path of commitment. And I guess that's the message that wanted to come through today, to be honest. It's kind of gone a little bit all over the place with this. So if you're still watching, thank you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of that good jazz. Let me know in the comments what you took from this. Because the truth is, when I'm practicing showing up here, and part of the intention, as I said at the very start of this video, is just to come and be here, to be authentic, to be, I'm actually more connecting with the sort of, woo, you know, that like light, just be, let it flow kind of energy, without the structure, without the grounding, which is interesting because today's transmission and talk went a little bit more into the need for that stuff. But I would love to know what you took from this, because I really, really believe that you are here to help build a new world. You wouldn't be watching this otherwise. You have something in you that is here to be expressed, a gift that is here to be given. And my work is to be a guide and an initiator for leaders like you at that threshold where you're ready to step into the next level of your life and of your gifts and of your service. And that you don't need to do that with more strategy, more effort, more push, more grind. All of those pieces might be part of it, but they're not the core thing. The core thing is a moment of decision where you meet and understand and see the old identity, the old loops, the old patterns, whatever it is that keeps repeating in your life, and you understand what part of you is choosing that and attaching to that and creating that. And you make a choice. You make a choice that I'm not going to keep creating that cycle anymore. I'm going to give that part of me what it needs. I'm going to build a new relationship with it, and I'm going to choose to step into this new level in my life. That's the work that I do with you. And if you want to experience what that will look like for you in your life, I have a free session called The Crossing, which you can book below in the link in the description. This is a moment of decision, a moment of crossing, hence the name, where I will guide you into a process to meet and understand whatever loop and pattern keeps recreating in your life and why that's happening, so that you can give it what it needs to complete. I call it, imagine that you are trying to press the accelerator while another part of you is slamming the brake. And a lot of personal growth and spirituality and self-help and stuff teaches you how to press the accelerator better, harder, deeper, for longer. But my work is about teaching you how to take your foot off that brake. And that's it. If you want to experience that, book in for the crossing. I'll see you in there. And otherwise, see you in the next video.